Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Oh, God, it's... This weekend has been a weekend. I'm just waiting for Rye to show up. She is on her way.
Maybe. 'Tis but a rumor.
Yeah, this
Wait,
weekend...
you're listening to Lahi too?
Yes. No, so the second version he was listening to was...
I like the fact that the first guy is listening to the soundtrack and the other one is listening to Soken's performance.
Yeah, you could definitely call it that.
Of all the performances I've heard, that is certainly
one of them. Okay, now comes the question. We're going to be doing the magic role quests, or at least start the magic role quest tonight. Should I do it as red mage, black mage, or scummoner?
Explosion!
Well, that's up to you, but...
Baron yelled explosion, so I might have to do it as black mage.
It was going to be my suggestion.
Okay, black mage it is.
I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd be doing it as red mage, but we'd be waiting a while yet. So it hit 81.
And we got tanked to 85? Paladin?
I think so.
I can look it up real quick.
If not, then it's 84. It is 85.
Yeah, 85, so you're halfway there. And that was what, 2 days worth of work?
Yeah, I don't think I'd hit 81 on it yet, so yeah. 2 days
Also,
work to get 5 levels.
I will note the search information, they've rearranged it slightly. Not necessarily bad, just slightly different. It's a more clear separation between job and class.
Okay.
And they've also separated out melee, physical, and magic.
Right.
Or melee, ranged, and magic, I should say.
Yeah, of course they rearranged the main character sheet for that too.
Of course, it's like melee DPS, physical range DPS, and magic range DPS. Does that mean at some point in the future they're actually planning a magic melee DPS?
I assume they are not planning such a thing. I would celebrate such a thing.
Because otherwise it's like putting the physical in front of range.
I know.
And just saying magical instead of magical ranged.
Yeah.
The connotations are there.
Yes. I don't think they've thought it through that far. And actually, Red Mage is 82 instead of 81, so very good. Didn't think that had happened.
That's good. Okay, I'm done dancing.
So I've got 3 jobs, one of which shares a class, 2 of which share a class, up to 90. I've got 1 more halfway there, and 2 more on the way, including Monk, which is 81. Well, I will certainly be able to get everything back up to 90 before, another expansion hits. And hopefully be able to get the next couple of classes up to 90.
If we can make tank before 6.1 drops, I will be a very happy mentor.
I think we'll manage that. Of course, the problem is that and melee DPS is probably not going to happen.
No, I just need tank.
Really? You just need 4 of the 5?
You need 3 of the 5. Heal, tank, and some sort of DPS.
Oh, okay.
And then I can keep my mentor qualifications.
Not all the little groupings.
Unfortunately, I can't keep the mentor roulette qualifications.
Sorry, what does that take?
That takes me having cleared all the previous expansions EXs.
Yeah, good luck with
that. Well, we did it last time. It's just we're having problems making connections for help desk this time.
Yeah. Action's job is making him less available, and we're not really getting anyone else at the moment.
Nope. A lot of people
Not a
are
whole lot
taking
of Suki,
downtimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Suki got sucked into Pokemon Arceus, which I don't necessarily blame him on that one.
Especially for Arceus, because, like I said, they did something different, and
As
the
he-
series has been needing that.
As he puts it, it's making me feel like 6 years old again.
For a Pokemon game, that is really high praise.
Now, realize the Pokemon games initially came out when I was in college.
Yeah, but you know what
Poof!
they're aimed at.
Another 100 gray furs!
Oh yes. I'm right there with you.
Hello, Doodles! Welcome! Well, shall we get these quests on the road?
When I moved up here initially with Colin was around the time that he was going, the Pokemon trading card game is actually well done.
Yeah.
Of course, you were seeing it at that point because it was brand new.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Ishgardian Delegate.
Our aching souls. The Ishgardian Delegate seeks a battle mage with courage unwavering. Yeah, that's me. Ah, my Lady Rylea, my Lord Thayrin, I have awaited your coming. The phenomenon wherein men turn into monsters pains me to say that Ishgard has not been spared. A dread blasphemy has appeared in the Holy See, and to compound the people's horror, the beast resembles a dragon. It is imperative that it be vanquished without delay, and to that end we have begun assembling a hunting party. Given that fear and despair may turn our allies against us, we are being stringent in whom we choose for this duty. Yet while we have confidence in the quality of our knights, the mission would greatly benefit from the presence of a battle mage, one who can stand unflinching in the face of our fell quarry.
Yeah, we can do that.
You can yell explosion with the best of them.
Yes, I can. If I remember my rotation, that is.
Well, it's a win-win. Either you get the yell explosion, or you get muffins.
Rotation muffins.
Like I said, win-win.
Win-win?
We would be hard-pressed to find an individual who fits that description better than you. Will you not lend us your strength and skill?
You can count on me. That's a no-brainer.
I am not a tsundere hero of light, thank you.
No, that would be Occam's. I need to get back to Occam's. I need to get back to a lot of my alts.
You need to get back to FF10.
Yes, I need.
You have some momentum again. We're in your debt. Just a moment while I relay the glad tidings to command. Tis settled. Upon arriving in Ishgard, please take yourself to the Aetheryte Plaza. Lord Arturiel will be there to receive you. May the Fury speed your way.
Checking the delegate again.
Sure. Allow me to thank you once more for agreeing to aid us in our efforts to vanquish the blasphemy. Lest you forget, upon arriving in Ishgard, please take yourself to the Aetheryte Plaza. Lord Arturiel will be there to receive you. Are you going to be okay?
It's gonna be nippy, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I made enough sturder stuff than J, so...
Uh-huh.
The fact that they had him completely shivering in the cold.
Yeah, the fact that they acknowledged that, just... Thank you!
I'm surprised he made it that far with such a stoic face. I guess that goes for the power of healing. No more frostbite.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Black Mage rotation because at level 90, it gets kind of weird.
As opposed to earlier.
Yes. Because you start having combo fire ice attacks that replace other attacks that you have to somehow weave into everything else. And it's been a while since I've...
Wait, sorry, we're canceling this.
What?
Show's over.
Huh?
We're going out and getting me 10 levels of Black Mage.
No. We will do that later. But it is glorious.
It sounds it.
But it totally screws my rotation for anything below 90.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm getting the rotation. I've got down pat. This is great. Here's your 90 abilities. Wait, what? We want to go to Ishgard. Because 500 gil is a lot cheaper than 1,000 plus gil.
You think?
Well, at least it's a sunny day. Well, kind of. It's overcast, but it's not snowing, so I'll take it. Oh, we should probably check in on the Holy Knights. See if Emmerich's around. He'd be disappointed if we didn't stop by and say hello. Because, you know, that's just how he is.
Well, he cares.
And since we're going right by it... What do I have a... Oh, right, that's for my Skysung Needle. Should I ditch that quest? I'm like halfway through it. Hey, Handaloo, are you saying anything different? Nah, I think that's about the same. Hello, Mr. Temple Guard. Is that American?
Pray keep your voice down when... Sorry. Used to serve as guardsman over by the Scholasticate. Force of habit. Carry on.
Right. He's not in. Though every now and then you'll run across an NPC who will actually say something different depending on where you are in the game.
Yes.
And that construction is not gone anywhere since we last looked in. Oh, come on, guys. It's been, what, months? You expect at least a few more
bricks. The fact that they redressed things at all surprised me.
Yeah, well. Oh, at some point we do need to do this one.
What the heck is this?
This is kind of important. Why don't we take a look right now?
Sending to Imperium. Oh. Is this getting access to the housing district?
Yes.
Do we want to do it right now? It should be short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sending to Imperium. Gondelambald appears to be waiting for you.
Hello, Octi.
Rylea, Thayrin, I've been awaiting your return. You see, after you helped bring an end to the Dragonsong War, we have striven to rebuild the city. Yeah, I know, I was part of that. And thanks to the assistance of countless craftsmen, our efforts to restore the firmament to its former glory are finally complete. And it is glorious.
Yes, it is.
In fact, House Zamel assembled a team of masons so skilled and efficient that they were able to finish the construction of an entirely new quarter.
Really?
Its name is Imperium, and it was created to serve as a residential district for adventurers from across the realm. No amount of description can truly convey its splendor, so I have asked Thomelin to escort you there that you might see for yourself. Seek him out in the broom when you have a moment.
I think we have a moment right now.
Mhm.
It's not snowing. I can deal. If it snows, I might have to put on a thick jacket. Actually, do I have a thick jacket in my inventory? Not one worth of speaking of.
Denied.
I think I put it in my glamour chest. Boo!
That's where mine is.
Yeah, I wonder what sort of reconstruction thing we're going to do this time. If it isn't tied to, the island sanctuary.
Yeah. It should be neat enough. Oh, my lady and lord, you've graced us with your presence once more. Perchance you've an interest in an Imprium. If so, say no more. I shall escort you there myself. And fear not, the Herald will surely be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Poof.
Can we get to the other zone?
We can. It'll eventually he'll have 2 entries.
Okay. They're just short-circuiting us for the quest.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have those spires.
There's the
This
bathhouse.
looks familiar.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same layout, except that it's all going to be player housing.
And they're not converting the other into player housing. Okay.
Right.
I was kind of expecting they would, but admittedly they kind of had several of those already set out for the NPCs.
And of course, all the stuff that was here for the workers and the construction is gone.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Highborn Herald.
Of course, we're actually coming at this from a different direction, though I think they just turned the map 90 degrees.
No, this is the correct direction.
Didn't we used to come in from the west?
Oh, we came in from the cathedral, maybe? Anyway.
Well, I don't know about that, but we did come in on the south side, which is not where the entry was for the other.
Welcome to Imperium. As our restoration efforts progress, they eventually expanded to include the construction of this little taste of heaven on earth. We are indebted to countless adventurers such as yourself who helped bring about the end of the Dragon Song War, and as thanks, we wish to provide a space for you to call home here in Ishgard. Of course, we will still require a nominal fee for plots of land or apartments you purchase, but do know that your guild will be helped to rebuild a bigger and better than before. If you would like to hear more, please speak with the resident caretaker for further assistance. Oh, hold on. No, this is about the place that we would come in at.
I was sure it was not on the south side.
Just a second. I want to see what they decide to do for where the Ironworks facility usually is. It's pretty much the same layout.
Yes, it is that.
Oh dear! The carbuncle snow...
Carbuncle.
Yeah, snow carbuncle!
Um,
That's adorable.
can I take it home with me?
No, it'll melt in your pockets.
No. And a little lamp inside this kind of igloo.
Yes.
Okay.
And these are all the housing locations. It's so weird seeing a location without a house. We've not seen it in, what, years?
Something like that. At present, Imprium is open for display only. Land sales will commence at a later time.
And of course, then they have the subdivision.
Yeah. Now, how does that work?
It's basically, using the same server assets. It's just expanded on. The subdivisions are more of a... How do I want to put it? Well, there's the housing enthusiast, but I don't think that's who we need to talk to. Or are we just fully open?
Report back to Gundelenbaugh at the Aetherite Plaza. Yeah, we're done quest-wise.
Okay. And they still have the jumping towers, so all is good. Yeah, if I remember right, the subdivisions, they were added in later to basically double the capacity, and they use effectively the same server set, just with expanded memory allocations.
Right. And I want to double check. So yeah, enter the firmament.
Yeah, the fact that they're still using the server technology from effectively 10 years ago
It
and
is
making...
on the south side. I could have sworn it was not. Ow. And they still have all the balloons up.
Yes, these balloons will pretty much remain permanent for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because you still have the fates. In fact, there's a fate season commencing in 8 minutes.
As neat as that would be, we do have other business.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, new housing.
And of course, a lot of people are really banking that the Island Sanctuary is going to take a lot of pressure off the housing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And let the housing become more of an RP kind of thing.
Yeah. That would also be nice.
But we shall see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Gollum
When does the sanctuary due?
6.2 is what they announced in the live letter. Originally it was supposed to be... I think they said it was going to come in 6.1, but I think they had to push it back to 6.2.
Can't blame them. So, Rylea, what did you think of the Imperium? I do hope it was to your liking. It's very nice. It's not the lavender beds. Given that our borders were closed for so long, I worry that outsiders such as yourself might not take interest in this new district. Oh, you have no idea. Prepare to get overrun by adventurers. But know that it is our sincerest wish that you and other noble souls will consider making Ishgard your new home.
Considering that the population is going up and not really dipping, yeah.
On the Ethernet. Okay, Artorial.
Hello,
Been
good
a
sir.
while.
Our technical foster brother.
Mm-hmm. Rylea, Thayrin, I've been expecting you. Words cannot well express how heartening it is to have you fighting beside us. Allow me to echo that sentiment.
Ah, so that explains why you weren't over at the congregation.
Greetings, my friends. Lest you wonder, Lord Artorial and I are leading the effort to deal with the blasphemy. With your capable self in the fold, I have no doubt that we shall succeed. Without further ado, I shall brief you on the situation. 'Twas a handful of days after the first beast appeared in Raz-dat-Han. An Elysian man was observed at the hoplon of the pillars walking with an unsteady gait. All of a sudden, he buckled over as if in pain. Before anyone knew what was happening, he had transformed into a terrible draconic beast. mere sight of this, many who chanced to be present also turned, and regrettably the Temple Knights were forced to put them down. The blasphemy itself, however, took wing and fled. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it, after the Dragon Man of Ishgardian myth. Since that day, the beast has oft been sighted in the skies above Ishgard. It does not attack, only circles menacingly for a time ere disappearing again. Alas, these brief visitations are enough to cause more people to turn, and for fear and panic to spread further. As part of our investigation, we have sought to identify the man who became the blasphemy, but thus far we have learned naught. We have, however, identified a common thread between those who subsequently turned. All were people of fervent faith, people such as priests and inquisitors.
That would make sense.
When the truth of our nation's history was laid bare, the legitimacy of the church was called into question. Many Ishgardians struggled to reconcile their revelations with their beliefs, and none more so than the pious. Such men and women, we posit, would be more susceptible to despair, and therefore the transformation. We must find a way to stop it. Ishgard has only just emerged from a 1,000-year war. We cannot suffer another great tragedy, much less so soon. In order to attain a better understanding of the situation, we intend to speak with a member of the clergy. The sole individual who survived witnessing the blasphemy's birth without being turned. Clem is his name, and he is a deacon at St. Raymanod's Cathedral. Come, let us seek him out there at once.
Interesting why he stood fast. Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
Here, I was thinking this could be a excellent chance to bring Briardian out again.
Who knows? We still might. We haven't seen him in a while, though he tends to go on walkabout.
Yeah, haven't seen them since the side story with the Scholasticate.
Yeah, this way might actually be a little shorter. Not by much, but...
Take what you can get.
Actually, it's a lot shorter because it lets us use this cut through. Yeah, this unfortunately the Scholastic chain might be another chain that the buttons skip, but we'll see. It is a long chain, but it's a good one.
At least it's only a single chain as opposed to Hildebrand. And of course, the Hildebrand chains for Heavensward are a bit shorter.
Yeah. Though I was kind of thinking more comparing it to the Moogle quests.
It's nowhere near that size.
Thank
For one thing, it's
the
all
Fury.
inside Ishgard.
Yeah. Americ?
Not so very long ago, few would have imagined Ishgardian knights marching beyond the bounds of their own dominion. But we have ventured to the heart of Garlemald and fought for no less than the fate of the world itself. Our nation has changed, and continues to do so. Here he is, Deacon Clem. Let us see what he can tell us.
Hello, good sir.
Lord Imeric, Lord Arturiel, and the saviors of Ishgard besides, you do me great honor. I am Clem, and I serve as deacon here at Saint Raymon's Cathedral. Too much French. I understand you were among those at the Hoplon when the incident occurred. We give thanks to the Fury for your merciful preservation. We now seek to prevent the blasphemy from wreaking further havoc, and would appreciate any details you can provide. Though we are to make you recall unpleasant memories, will you not recount to us what you witnessed that day? Very well. We are presently relocating the vault's libraries to the cathedral, in case you were unaware. We had finished delivering a batch of tomes, and were on our way to bring over another. As we approached the Hoplon, we noticed a young man walking unsteadily. No sooner had he come to an abrupt halt than he transformed into a draconic beast. The fiend fixed us with a menacing glare. It was all we could do to find our wits and flee. But to my compounding horror, my brethren who were with me began turning into monstrosities as well, one after another. No idea.
I unfortunately think it might be you.
Yeah, this might be all me all the time.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Praise the Fury that you, at least, were spared, Deacon Clem. I cannot imagine how frightening the experience must have been. Bishop Vertina. Forgive me if I interrupt. I was informed that our stalwart protectors were present and wish to express my gratitude. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service. I pray that we shall soon be free of this scourge. And I will note this is another scene that would benefit from the lighting and shadows upgrade.
Yes, it would. Sorry. But they're working on it. Slowly but surely.
Yes. Indeed, if there's aught we might do to aid your efforts, you need but say it. You're most kind, Your Grace. That was Bishop Vertina, the head of Saint Raymon's, and a member of the Synod. Yeah, too much French.
Sorry.
Not your fault. Curse you, Yoshi P! With the seat of the Archbishop vacant, he is, in effect, the highest authority in the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. This is so, yet in spite of his elevated station, he remains as kind and humble a man as any I have ever known. Like his grace, I would do all that I can to help shepherd our people through this uncertain time. To that end, there is a request I would make of you, if you can spare a moment to consider it. Of course, if it is within our power, we should be glad to offer you aid. Thank you.
I'm just kind of surprised that any of the clergy would actually consider us the savior of Ishgard. No offense.
Well, with dragon attacks not happening every day, there are things to be thankful for.
Yeah, but we kind of took down the Archbishop to do it. So...
Yeah, well, he had it coming.
Yes, he did.
I
Americ?
didn't think to click on the other two.
The deacon was no less terrified by the blasphemy than his peers, yet he alone did not turn. By what grace was he spared? What manner of request could this be? His tone bespeaks urgency.
In the wake of the transformations, a group of clergymen fled the city in fear. Yet though they sought refuge in the wilderness, they put themselves at the mercy of the elements and fell fiends both. Given that the cause of the transformation is not clear, I think theirs was a decidedly unwise decision. I wish to set out and find them, but I am not trained in the ways of war. As such, I require those who are to accompany me on the search. So that is the way of it. Suffice it to say, we will help. Do you know whither your fellows may have headed? The Western Highlands, I believe. Between Gorgani Mills and Hemlock, there is no shortage of abandoned dwellings in the area. Very well. Time being of the essence, I propose we split up and scour separate areas. Rylea, Thayrin, if you could escort the good deacon to Gorgani Mills, Lord Arturiel and I will tend to Hemlock.
You got it. So, off to Western Highlands. Gotcha.
Mhm. I hope you're dressed warmly enough for this.
Oh, it's snowing.
Yes. It does that here.
I'm,
Did you notice?
I'm sorry, I do not want to wear the Black Mage gunny sack. You think I'm joking, don't you?
No.
Yeah, the robe they gave us this time isn't quite a gunny sack, but it's pretty dang close.
Yeah, well.
Not my style. Totally not my style.
Nor anyone else's?
Might look good on a potato, but, well, there you go. Actually, why are we talking to this? We can just fly there ourselves. I'm a derp.
Yeah. Why didn't you just go out the gate?
Because I derped? Derpy derp derp derp. Derp 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 derp.
Smell that derp.
Derp derp derp. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nami. I'll finish that needle eventually. Maybe before the next expansion.
Yeah, me too. Maybe.
I'm not holding my breath.
It would be unwise.
Mm.
It would be totally unwise.
At least Rift is dressed warmly. Okay, off to Gorgani Mills. In a freaking blizzard. The game is mocking me right now.
No, the game was mocking you. Now it's trying to freeze you.
Well, it might actually be succeeding. Dang it! You're gonna make me put on the gunny sack, aren't you? There. Warmer, at least.
Yes! No more frostbite on your shoulders.
I was actually kind of disappointed. The current Moonward set is proper trap-bait material, but I can't find a good hairstyle that won't clip through the collar.
It is a mighty collar.
Mm.
Oh dear.
Clem?
You should choose to abide in such harsh conditions.
Inquisitor.
Pallid. Inquisitor. You! Yes, me. Ah, I see you found them. Yes, and none the worse for wear, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have given cause for alarm. We come out of concern for your well-being. Though we understand why you quit the city, we fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here.
Excuse you.
His Grace Bishop of Vertana, too, worries for your health and prays for your swift return. So please, will you not allow us to escort you to the Holy See? I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. Servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? This is your fault. You and your accursed revolution. The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit on our faces.
I had a feeling this was gonna go this route. Oh.
And now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities. Enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity.
That's not how the transformation works. Dang it.
What? Yeah. All I have ever done was in service to her. I am a good man. I do not. She cannot forsake me.
How let me preserve?
Remarkably unaggressive. Rylea, Thayrin, we cannot allow him to harm any others. Give chase and do what you must. We will remain here and keep the others calm. Please.
You do that. Unfortunately, the man you once knew is now gone. Shall we?
Deacon Clem, please do what you can to reassure them. Yes, of course. Clem? All shall be well, my friends. Come, join me in prayer. And Artorial? Do not worry about us. See to the beast. It cannot have gotten far. No. Yes, Foxfire, and there's a lot of that to be going around these days.
But frankly, this surprises...
Chicago winters and summers are not to be trifled with.
Yeah. This does not surprise me, unfortunately. Not after a 100-year war.
Here, meet another dragon. Wicked shall be punished. Not so much.
Bye, Bahamut!
So, any good muffins?
No, I didn't even get rolling.
Yeah. Not even a rotation roll. Yeah, that's the problem with these fights.
Artorial?
What of the beast?
Slain.
And Clem has not changed. Is it done?
Yes.
My thanks. What happened is most regrettable, but we must be grateful that no one else came to harm. While you were gone, the deacon was able to convince the others to return to the city. Let us escort them back at once, and then reconvene at the congregation to consider our next course of action. For our purposes, we have the use of the strategy room. Announce yourself to the guard without, and he will show you in.
Right. As long as he doesn't tell us to keep our voices down.
And even if he does.
Yeah, well. He's guarding a knight's barracks now. Keeping voices down just ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. But old habits die hard.
He's out of his league. I could just barely see the lighthouse. I am so glad they put that lighthouse in on this map.
Yes!
Otherwise, you will get turned around so fast with the weather.
I wonder how many cases of like developers getting lost caused that lighthouse to be put in.
More than you would ever know.
Yeah. But it is remarkable how it cuts through everything. Now, in addition to shadows and lighting and such, did they say anything about, like the volumetric stuff? Fog.
Yeah, they are looking at that as well, but that's a really low priority for them compared to the lighting, the shadows, and the textures.
Well, it's already in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, the dust storms in Thanalan really look good.
And of course, there's a lot of people very sad that they specifically said, no, we're not going to be messing with the cloth stuff and the clipping because that would involve putting in an entire physics engine, and that's just too much work.
Yeah. You'd be basically going back to first principles to fix that stuff.
I mean, they might eventually, but we're looking way down the line if that ever appears.
Yeah, in the third 10-year plan.
Yeah. Something like that, maybe. But yeah, don't hold your breath. You're gonna turn blue and die before that.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Mr. Temple Guard.
Lords of the American Artorial await you within the strategy room. Will you be joining them now?
Yes.
And we'll try to keep our voices down. So you got shunted to the emergency strategy room?
No, I'm in the real strategy room. There's American Artorial here.
No, they're with me. You have clones, body doubles. Invasion of the Elysian Snatchers.
I don't think they know how to make very good simulacrums here. Americ?
Here we shall discuss our plans to deal with the blasphemy. Whensoever you wish to enter, you need but say so to the guard.
Artorial.
The building next door is the congregation of our knights who are kind of sus.
Not quite. The two buildings that this is wedged between, one is the Forgotten Knight, which is the local bar. Makes perfect sense why.
That would be the one he named.
And the other is the Chocobo Proving Ground. So, yeah.
Lest you wonder, we have taken the clergymen to Saint Remenaz to rest and recover. If truth be told, the thought that they may still succumb to despair in turn remains at the forefront of my mind. Yet the risk would be greater still were we to keep them at arm's length and deny them the comfort of the Church. Indeed, from the words he spoke, that Inquisitor yearned for the days of old. He and others like him can scarcely be blamed. Since the truth of the nation's founding and the Archbishop's machinations were made public knowledge, the Church has been in turmoil. Though we have made great strides in separating religion and state, there has been far less progress in the reformation of the Church.
This surprises me little.
For our faith has been everything to us, our purpose and our comfort. It is not an easy thing to reconcile one's beliefs with the betrayal of our spiritual leaders. Thus torn between their hearts and minds, many Ishgardians feel lost, and none more so than members of the clergy, whose faith was once unshakable. Little wonder, then, that the most dedicated and devout are like to turn. So it seems that further investigation is needed ere we draw a definite conclusion. With the war's end, Ishgard has set out on a new path. The choices we make now shall determine our course for the future. Come what may, we dare not squander the chance we have fought so hard to attain. Once the returned clergymen have sufficiently calmed down, I shall have the deacon speak with them, that we might gain insight into their individual plights. Good. Meanwhile, I shall take the opportunity to brief my men on recent developments. Pray take a moment's rest, my friends. You've earned it. When you're ready to continue our work, you may seek us out here.
Oh, we'll be here. We're not going anywhere.
At least not yet.
And yes, Foxfire, I agree that dropping people down the witch drop should continue to be a thing of the past.
Chocobo proving grounds. Okay, prove you're a chocobo. Otherwise, you'll be classified as a really big chicken.
Oh, kind of like the tank we had last night?
Yeah, that was a really big chicken. That was the San Diego chicken, I'm sorry.
San Diego Chicken at Horton Plaza!
Yep.
We ended up doing a run, and it was us and Tay, so we had this random pug tank come in. We ended up in Smileton, which is basically a giant MC Escher puzzle, which reminds us a lot of Horton Plaza in San Diego. And our tank was a Hrothgar. Was he a Hrothgar or a Rogaden?
I think he was a row.
A male Rogaden with
he was too upright.
With a giant fat chocobo head and golden armor.
Yep.
And he was nuts. He was pulling mobs at the speed of light.
Yeah, and overclocked my brain in the process.
I'm sorry.
That took an hour to recover from.
At least he was kind enough to wait for you to go through cinematic.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
needed the break, that's for sure.
Artorial?
No forgiveness, no deliverance. Artorial is eagerly awaiting Deacon Clem's report. Ah, Rylea, Thayrin, your timing could not be better. Deacon Clem has finished speaking with the rescued clergyman, and will be here shortly to share his findings. Lord Imeric, too, is on his way. Let us wait for them.
We shall wait.
Deacon Clem, we thank you for making the inquiries on our behalf. 'Twas no imposition in the least. As I said, I am glad to do all I can. So, 'tis our understanding that those we escorted back were all close acquaintances of the Inquisitor who turned. Like him, they too had been the subject of harassment by certain quarters of the populace. Is this correct? It is, I'm afraid, and they are far from alone. Men of the cloth who were once afforded respect and deference as servants of Helone, but now they were openly reviled by many. We were complicit in perpetrating terrible lies, this is true. But we too were misled. We too are victims, yet we are regarded by some as criminals. Well, do I understand the people's anger, but it saddens me to think that they would thus lash out at their fellow man, especially when we need solidarity most of all. Though I can imagine your plight, I would not presume to fully grasp your pain. Will you tell us of the challenges you and yours have had to face since the war's end? Like all sons and daughters of Ishgard, we dreamed of peace in our lifetime. But now that it has come, we find we have little cause to rejoice. Our faith has long been the foundation of our lives, and overnight that foundation has been crippled by fractures beyond repair for some. To learn that we had been deceived, and that we had unwittingly deceived others in turn was devastating. We who had once been shepherds to men found ourselves lost lambs, bereft of surety and wanting for guidance. We have languished in darkness, all of us. Yet I have faith that the Church will redeem itself, that it will find a new path, and again become a beacon of hope for the people. I see. Thank you for sharing this with us. Your testimony has confirmed our suspicions. According to our allies, that which causes people to turn is none other than their despair and anguish. If it wasn't before, it is now abundantly clear why members of the clergy are among the transformed. That you did not, I believe, is due to your unwavering faith in the Church. In light of this, we would ask your continued cooperation. Of course, anything to help my brethren. Now that we have established the cause, that leaves us with the mystery of Profane Fafnir's identity. The progenitor of these troubles. Could he too have been a man of the cloth? From what I recall of his garb, I doubt it. He was dressed in the common fashion, and inadequately against the cold besides. 'Tis said that something of the individual may remain in the blasphemy, influencing its behavior. Oh boy, yes.
That's a mild way of putting it, yes.
If we can determine what instincts drove Profane Fafnir, we may learn who it once was. And this knowledge, I believe, will prove vital in our efforts to stop it. Deacon Clem, we ask that you reach out to your fellow clergymen. Please do what you can to ease their anxieties. Understood. As I have ever done, I shall provide what comfort I can to those in need. Meanwhile, we must make it a priority to identify the blasphemy. To that end, I would seek out more eyewitnesses. The Hoplon is a busy place at any given time. Some ordinary citizens are bound to have been present as that tragic event unfolded. I propose we make inquiries in the pillars. If you could attend to the Hoplon, Lord Artoriel and I will look in the surrounding areas. Sorry, not really.
No, you're not sorry. Not even the slightest.
Maybe a little.
Really?
Poof! And we're outside.
Yes, we are. Okay, back to the pillars.
I could be sorry.
Do you want to be sorry?
Maybe.
So committal!
Yeah? What's your point?
Okay, I think we go this way. Probably doing this backwards, but whatever.
There's a non-backwards way?
Should be someone. Aha! Hello, Mr. Citizen. We'd like to ask you a few questions.
I wasn't present for the incident at the Hoplon, but a young man poorly dressed for the cold, that I did see. I recall him well because an aide from St. Vendrews was searching for him. He was a patient at the infirmary, and by coincidence had the same name.
Huh. An infirmary patient, which is why he was so poorly dressed. He wasn't expected to go outside. Which means, of course, he could be anyone.
So far, yes.
But the fact that him being a clergy or a knight is not off the table.
Sadly, no. The dragon that appeared at the Hoplon? I saw with my own eyes. One moment an elephant, the next a terrible beast. He was a heretic, I take it?
Not necessarily, but yeah.
Reasonable assumption, because that's usually how someone becomes a dragon.
Are the heretics really heretics anymore? And wouldn't they be former heretics?
Something like that. Don't expect that much thought out of people.
Yeah, well. Oh dear. Someone buttering someone else up.
It looks it.
Excuse me, Miss Sociable Citizen? No, I didn't see the dragon. Nor would I have wished to, frightful as it sounds. They said it wasn't a Dravania attack, but if not, then what was it?
A little more insidious.
Yeah. It being an infirmary patient,
Yeah.
that's a huge clue right there.
Yeah, that lists down the, or cuts down the list quite a bit.
Well, it also might give reason for his despair.
Yeah, that too. But, if we want to know who it is, then who's been in the infirmary lately?
Arturel?
Were you able to learn anything?
Yes,
Yes.
actually. You'll be interested in hearing this.
There you are. Did your search yield any fruit?
I think we need to go to the infirmary and check their patient list.
A patient of the Firmament's infirmary, you say? Among those with whom I spoke, one claims to have witnessed an individual fitting that description. A man walking in a stupor who did not seem to feel the cold. If he had wandered straight out of the infirmary, it would explain his state of attire. Yes, I dare say we have found our blasphemy, but to think that his name should be Thayrin. 'Tis the same as that of former Heavensward Commander Sir Vendru de Ruchaman, for whom the infirmary is named. Sir Vendru, however, retired from his station at a ripe old age some years ago. 'Tis not like to have been him.
Maybe a son or grandson?
In any case, we have a lead. I shall head to the infirmary at once. Pray wait for me in the broom. We actually know the staff at the infirmary, but never mind.
They need to do their work. I mean, it is their city and their people. We're just here to help.
We know the staff.
I know we know the staff. And I swear to God, if he changed out of the jeans I gave him and back into those absolute horrible slops, I'm going to smack him.
Yeah. Those were horrible.
They were just... ugh. Actually, let's cut through the Forgotten Night.
Yeah.
No, in this world, in order to become a dragon, you have to drink a dragon's blood, which is one of the things that the heretics would do on occasion.
You also have to have dragon's blood in you, in your bloodline.
Yeah.
It turns out just about everybody in Ishgard
does.
Just, ooh.
Oh ho! This is interesting. There used to be a drunkard right here,
Yeah,
Claps.
Yes, there did.
And then after the building of the firmament, he stopped, kind of got out of his stupor and was like, I'm having one last drink before I move on. And he's moved on.
Yeah.
But when I mean he was plastered, I mean he was plastered.
Yes, he was.
Drinking himself into a stupor for the loss of his lord and his family. They did say meet him in the... Up there, Sir Merrick. No offense, Merrick, you kind of stick out of like a sore thumb here in the slums.
Our tutorial should not be long. Let us wait here. Yes, let us wait.
We are waiting.
This is Loverick, the aide who is in charge of Vendru. Oh, you're new. Have you found him? Oh, please say you have. We have not, I am afraid, but we seek to, and hope that you could tell us more about him. May we ask how he came to be at the infirmary? He was found by a patrol in the Central Highlands. After being treated for his hurts, he was brought to us for convalescence. Being in the prime of his years, he'd been doing well, but then... Prime of his years. By all accounts, he's no old man. It seems safe to assume it isn't Sir Vendru. Oh no, he's definitely a different person, as I told Lord Artorial. And though he gave his name as Vendru, he seemed rather confused, and we had no means to confirm his identity. In his state, he shouldn't be wandering about on his own. Please, you must find him. The man who recently turned into a beast at the Hoplon. We regret to say it may have been Playthru. What? No. How can this be? Is there aught else you can tell us? Things he may have said or done while in your care? While he was still unconscious, he would often ramble. Though most of it was incoherent, he mentioned the archbishops many times. Oh, and he spoke of a bishop, too. Bishop Vertino. I assumed he was a pious man, given this. I see. Thank you for your cooperation. We will continue our investigation and, should we confirm what became of Playthru, inform you forthwith. Let us return to the congregation for now. You know, actually, hold on a moment.
Yes?
That doesn't look half bad on you. It actually looks pretty good.
It's the
That's
ratty
not a
bottom
sack.
that gets me.
Okay, fair.
It's like, dude, do you know how to do a hymn? I can hymn, but yeah. The problem is that I'm completely spoiled on the Puppet's Bunker casting top. Which I've worn for ages and ages and ages now, and would like to eventually get back to. Need more glamour plates. Which is something they are actually working on.
Yes.
They're working on
are on the job.
They're working on more glamour plates and more locations where you can access the glamour plates.
Yes. Please.
As far as I'm concerned, you should have a max glamour plate of one for every possible job, plus like 2 extra. 2 or 3 extra. Oh, right, we need to go back to the congregation. My bad.
Someone autopiloting.
A little. And you call me cold.
Eh?
Take a look at the bun next to you.
She seems perfectly warm.
Ah!
She's one giant goose pimple. Never mind.
Yes, please show us into the strategy room. Merrick?
Could this Playthru be? Get me close to the blasphemy and I'll probably find out. The Echo has been mighty in these quests so far.
Yeah, we actually haven't had much of an Echo resident outside these, which kind of amazes me.
The mystery remains, but we're one step closer to identifying the man who became Profane Fafnir. Indeed, though he did not at first appear to be a member of the clergy, his words betray a fervent faith. And how curious that he should speak not only of the Archbishop, but Bishop Vertino specifically. Perhaps he was personally acquainted with his grace.
Should we go talk with His Grace?
In light of the possibility, I believe we should speak with him directly. Agreed. I will request an audience, but His Grace has many demands upon his time. It may be a while before we are seen. Should you have other business, pray feel free to attend to them in the meantime.
No, we're waiting right here.
For the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Only justice, only vengeance. The look of relief upon Arturiel's face bespeaks your timely arrival.
We never left!
That's why it's so timely.
You didn't even get us a cup of tea. I feel slighted.
My carbuncle has a to-be treat.
Hey, was it you who were sniffing around my pockets?
Me? No. The carbuncle, on the other hand, might have been.
All it'd have to do is give googly eyes and I'd give him one anyway, you know that.
Tell him.
Oh, Arturiel, do you want a Topi treat? No?
No.
Well, you don't get any until you bring us tea, so deal with it.
Rylea, Thayrin. Excellent timing as ever. Deacon Clem has just sent word that Bishop Ferdinand will see us now. By which I mean right this instant.
Right.
It is extremely short notice, I know, but it would not do to miss the opportunity to learn how he and Vendrew may be connected. Not wishing to keep His Grace waiting, Lord Imeric is already on his way to St. Raymonau's Cathedral. Come, let us hurry there ourselves. Excuse me.
On our way. Okay, back to the cathedral. I mean, also the other thing is, well, this one is not bad. They've definitely had worse.
Oh yeah.
The Shadowbreakers one I actually kind of liked.
Fair enough, but the design on that one's actually neat.
I just wish the bottom wasn't so ratty.
Yeah, I had not noticed that, and now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, I still need to make my fashion video of my observations on the current sets.
Yes, you do. Probably after your current project is done?
Probably, though I might do a little beforehand just as a break.
That sounds like a good idea. Now,
Imeric?
Rylea, Thayrin. Full glad am I that you could join us.
Arturiel?
It seems His Grace has yet to arrive.
So be it.
My lords, I am so sorry. I informed His Grace that you were making your way hither, but shortly before you arrived, he recalled he had urgent business and had to leave the cathedral at once.
Of course he did.
He cannot have yet gone far, though, so if you wish to search for him in the hopes you can still steal a moment of his time, to grant us an audience only to depart with such haste, what business could be so pressing?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah. His Grace is yet to return, I'm afraid. Yeah, I know, I haven't left yet. Decent search radius.
I'm not seeing anyone down there. Ah, there they are.
Yeah. I found His Grace.
That you
Yes,
have.
we noticed. Oh, well now, that even the savior of Ishgard should be here. Someone wanting to avoid a subject. Your Grace, perhaps 'tis simply our misunderstanding, but we were under the impression you had granted us an audience. Lord Speaker, rest assured I was just about to return to the cathedral. There is no need, Your Grace. This will not take long. As you may have heard, we are investigating a young man named Playthru. Is he known to you? No, I cannot say he is. With the exception of the former Archimandrite, I am sure I know no one by that name. Mine and the Archbishop's are known to many, yes? Perhaps this youth took inspiration from public services over which we presided. Goodly soul that he is. Full glad that am I that his faith was of comfort to him in sickness. I pray to Halone that he will soon be found in good health. Now then, if there's nothing else, I shall return to my duties.
Ah, we've been wondering. Let the
Well, we
truth
just
lay
needed to
bare.
get close to the right person.
Oh ho! I had a feeling.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the Archbishop's knights.
Yeah. Fear not, Your Eminence. I shall carry on your legacy. We have completed the preparations as per your instructions. But are you certain this will work? It will. It must. Lord Imeric spoke the truth when he revealed the Archbishop sought primal powers to strengthen the people's faith. I could not bring myself to believe it. Not at first. But in the course of cataloging His Eminence's personal articles, I came upon his journal. Therein he had written that, although through abundant aether and fervent prayer, it is possible to make gods of men. All the power we require lies in this place, this as its law. By channeling the essential elements into the soulless flesh and sword we found.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
That's even worse.
much worse. We shall summon forth King Thordan and his knights 12, and by his blessing Ishgard shall be restored to its former glory. Somewhat different from the public persona you've had going on, though maybe you learned your lesson.
And of course, what is the first thing a primal does?
Yep. What is this? It's just an ordinary man, scarcely changed from before. Changed in one respect, he lives.
Did they take the anima from the sword and give him a soul from it?
His Eminence. I must protect.
Or summon his soul back?
No. No, this isn't right. Confound it. Perhaps I overlooked something. Must return to the Holy See and review the journal. Your Grace, what shall we do with this thing? Leave it. 'Tis a failure without use or value. The denizens of this place will deal with it soon enough.
Well, it was strong enough that,
It got out of Azus Law and into Central Coerthus.
yeah, and that is no mean
Holy
feat!
cow! I don't know what you did, but you sure did something.
I'm wondering if he pulled the soul out of the sword, because the soul... Of
Yeah.
course... Hold on, let me complete this thought. It's kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
Souls, of course, are composed of aether. Primals feed on the aether and then store it, but the soul is still intact while it is stored. It is only when the aether that the soul is composed of is used that the soul is effectively ripped apart and expired.
Yeah.
And what... Yeah. He should be...
Guys.
And the fact that he's turned into a blasphemy instead of being returned to the ethereal sea.
Yep.
Okay, you can continue, Merrick. I'm sorry about that. What were you saying?
Are you well? Were you perchance granted the vision of the past?
You're gonna love this
Oh,
one.
yeah. We have more clerical problems. An attempted summoning of King Thordan and his knights 12. Your Grace, you should know full well that summoning is strictly forbidden. You will accompany us to the congregation and explain yourself. Oh no. I have dedicated my life to the church, conducted my affairs in accordance with the scriptures, something. You took it all from us, tore down everything that defined us. You cannot know how it feels to have your very existence rejected, to be forsaken by your community, to be denied by your society. Well, I deny you and this justice. I deny an Ishgard where the church has no place. I refuse to accept it. Do you hear me? I refuse to accept it. Your Grace, no! That it should come to violence yet again. Would that your hand had not been forced, my lord. Deacon Clem should not be alone at this time. I shall remain with him while tending to the aftermath.
Please.
When things have settled, I will return to the congregation. Pray go on ahead and get some rest.
I'm sorry, Clem.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
No. Uh, so what are we down to for the highest ranked in the church? We're kind of burning through all the top guys.
Yeah, I think the church is in the point of burning itself to the ground. In all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
I think the highest rank actually might be some of the heads of the Scholasticate at this point.
Probably.
And at least that's been kind of cleared up to an extent.
Yeah.
But the church completely in turmoil does not surprise me, at least considering everything that's happened with the rest of Iscardian society.
Oh yeah.
I'm honestly surprised one of the dragons hasn't sent an emissary going, what's this we hear about a draconian thing flying around that we did not approve of?
Yeah, well.
Please tell us what is going on. I'm surprised they
Please do show us in.
have not informed the dragons.
Yeah.
Especially,
don't trust it. It won't be good.
especially when you've got a congregation of younglings singing in the firmament.
Yeah, well. How fares the deacon? Well enough, given the circumstances. Though understandably shaken, he is more determined than ever to help his fellows. He's an amazing man.
Yeah.
Truly, he is possessed of a stout heart. But to think that even a member of the Synod could succumb to despair and turn. Crisis gripping the church is far graver than I had imagined. And pushing for such an abrupt separation of religion and state, we may have not this again.
Exasperated.
Not quite. We may have exacerbated the growing divide between the clergy and the general populace. Rylea, Thayrin, will you recount in full that which you witnessed in your vision? Oh,
Of course.
yes. You're not going to be happy. He should seek to use one of Alak's unholy abominations to create a primal. Yet that which manifested was not like the being you fought, but rather retained the form of a man, one driven by the desire to protect the Archbishop. We may safely assume the bishop did not have sufficient aether. Bereft of Nidhogg's eye, the sword Ascalon no longer has such power. Nor does that of the warring triad remain to be harnessed, thanks to your valorous intervention. But if the summoning failed, how did the clone come to possess life? And what purpose drives it? Lack of aether notwithstanding, the necessary components were present for a summoning. Perhaps the ritual itself was a success, and the vessel, though imperfect, arose as a champion of the Archbishop. Yet how did he come to be in the Central Highlands? You believe this clone and the man who became the blasphemy are one and the same? Nay, I merely speculate. Yet considering what we know of the clone and Vaindrew, it would seem a likely possibility. Whatever the truth may be, it will not elude us forever. But first, we must lay some groundwork for the next phase of our investigation. God's permitting, I will have news to share ere long, so pray look in on us when you can. That should be Wednesday.
Yes.
I'd say we made pretty good progress, and we might be able to actually finish this one on Wednesday.
That would be nice.
Thayrin Rylea, we're gonna visit you later.
Yeah, we'll see you later. I think I need a drink over at the Forgotten Night.
I need a stool at the Forgotten Night, but I'm not getting one.
Yeah, the only stool is there's one lone sad stool in the actual inn.
Yeah.
And it is sad.
Manly man and live in the cold and stand all the time.
Hey, Sudoku. Sudoku. Sudoku.
Durgu.
Yeah. He's the Dark Knight trainer.
Oh. And Riel?
She's his companion.
Of course.
I'll stop calling Sid a Chocobo's ours when he stops thinking me of a stupid little girl. God, you'd think that after everything we've been through, he'd give me a little more credit. It's because I'm
dear.
bloody short. I'm due for a growth spurt. But I don't know if I'll ever be as tall as he is. No, you won't. These two make an interesting pair.
Oh,
And
dear.
his love of Muggles. Note, love is in quotes.
Oh dear.
You'll get to it eventually.
Someday.
In the meanwhile, pull up, I've got some cards here. Or are you just gonna hang out with those two?
Maybe.
Yeah, they do not believe in sitting around here. There is just nothing to sit at.
Yeah.
In any case, thank you all very much for joining us. As mentioned before, we will return Wednesday starting at 9:30 to finish up the Magic Role Quest. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, you all have a great evening and sleep well, be well. We really hope to see you on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Everyone have a good night.
Good night.